Russell's Reserve 13-year age is the highest proof that they've ever released. So the question is it worth the extra money to get the extra proof? Let's go ahead and break it down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashioned. Today, we're going to be diving into the Russell's Reserve 13-year, the 2025 edition. This is their highest proof they've ever released, coming in at 123.8 proof. And I gotta say, I've had a few pours of this, and this thing is spicy in like the best possible way. If you're a fan of Russell's in general, if you've had the Russell's 10, or maybe you've been lucky enough to have the Russell's 15, you know what I'm talking about. All those spices translates really well in this bottle, but for today, we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna give you a proper review, let you know my thoughts on the nose, the palate, the finish, and I'll really let you know if it's worth the hefty price tag for this bottle. Now again, this price is coming in basically at $200. I've seen it a little less. I've seen it quite a bit more as well. So the question is should you spend your hard-earned dollars on something that's expensive? The answer is no if you don't have it. If you do, and you're willing to spend that kind of money, I'll let you know if it should fit well with your profile, your palate, and all that kind of stuff, and make sure it's worth the buy to you before you go spend your money. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now for me, that one sounded a little dry. I don't know what's happened there. But this one to me, and Russell's Reserve in general, is one of my favorite bottles. I love the 10, the 15. Their single barrels, fantastic. So I had high hopes for this 13-year. Again, it wasn't anything that I was kind of hunting at, but to be honest, I walked into a Publix, I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I said I had to have it. Even better perk, again, this isn't for everybody, I wish it was, but somebody had this priced at the Russell's 10 price, so I got extremely lucky, absolutely blessed I didn't have to spend an arm and leg to get it. But I don't let that weigh into my decision here on whether or not it's worth it for you guys, because it is a heavy price tag. But let's go ahead and dive into the nose. Let's go in for the first sniff. The first thing, what's crazy is it always has like that wild turkey, Russell's Reserve style note, like funk going on to it in like the best way. It also feels a little like amped up. I don't know if that's just because of the proof or just the bottle being newer, but beyond that, I get a lot of like candied cherries, vanilla, caramel, of course, a little bit of oak. I don't know if that's like a deep brown sugar or like dark caramel, but it's like a mixture between the two, and there might have been like a hint of citrus in here too, like faint orange or faint grapefruit, something. Overall, it is a fantastic nose. It kind of gives you everything you want in a Kentucky bourbon, right? It's got like the basic stuff, but with some complexities of the cherries and maybe a little bit of that grapefruit action. To me, I love the nose, but it very much, when you go in, it feels and smells like you are drinking a Wild Turkey or Russell's product, hands down. Now, nose is great, but let's dive into the palate. Let's see if they translate, and again, let's see if it's enjoyable. Or is the proof too much? The proof's never too much. Don't even go there. But you get where I was going. I love this bottle. I've had a little bit of it. Again, it's fantastic. It's got like originally right off the bag, it almost feels like that, like that first sip. You crack a cold like wild cherry Pepsi or cherry Coke, whatever side you're on. That first little crack of soda, right? And it's nice and sparkling. It's right. It's fizzing up at the top. You go in for the sip. That's what it feels like. On the first sip, it feels like you just cracked. I'm going with Pepsi for now, but you can fight me in the comments whether it's Pepsi or Coke. But like a wild cherry Pepsi on the first initial sip with like a cola note and a cherry candied note. And then it kind of follows out and mellows down with a nice little bit of oak. It kind of has almost like a hint of honey, strangely enough. It's sweet, for sure. I definitely think this one, compared to other Russell's Reserve products in the past, this one definitely leans more dessert vibes. I get a little touch of cinnamon in there. I definitely get, it feels more like brown sugar vibes. I think, and if I'm not crazy here, I almost get like birthday cake, like funfetti birthday cake, which is fun, right? Who doesn't love funfetti, right? But it's almost like, it is very sweet for sure. So you got to be a fan of high proof, high sweetness. I'm not comparing these two, but like Stag from Buffalo Trace is very reminds me of this bottle. Stag is very sweet, high proof. You know, it's got some oomph to it, but it's very much like a spicy dessert. This is very much like a spicy dessert with like a funfuddy cake, wild cherry Pepsi, some brown sugar, caramel, vanilla vibes, a little oak. It's good. It's very complex. The more I sit here and think on it, the more I just keep like random notes keep popping in my head. But I gotta say, one of the best parts of this bottle is gotta be the finish. Normally I have to do like a little sip to be like, oh, let's do the finish, right? I don't have to do that. It's growing hair on the chest as we speak. It lights you up in the throat and in the chest in like the best possible way. Right? Again, you got to be a fan of high proof stuff if to enjoy a bottle like this. But I definitely think for the heat level, it's solid. It's a great finish. On the finish though is where I get a lot more of like the cinnamon, nutmeg, and kind of funfetti style tasting notes is more towards that back finish. So my final thoughts on this bottle is going to be, yes, it is fantastic. One of my favorite pours this year so far, but this fits very much within my wheelhouse of flavor profiles that I really like. I like my whiskey and bourbon being a little bit sweeter. I like the higher proof stuff. I like those super long finishes. So when it comes to this bottle, for you guys, if I was gonna say, should I recommend it? People destroy me in the comments whenever we talk about, is a high expensive bottle worth it? No, you gotta buy Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Guys, if you were to say, hey, I want to invest my money and get a bottle like this, there would be a couple things I'd want you to check off your checklist before you do that. One, are you a fan of Wild Turkey? Are you a fan of Russell Reserve? If the answer is no, don't buy this. If the answer is yes, do you like high proof? Do you like sweet bourbon? Do you like more dessert style notes in your flavor profile? If the answer is yes, all that stuff, then this is a great pickup. The price tag's hefty. Right, so again, I'm not saying go pick up a bunch. Don't go hunt it down. I definitely would not say go pay secondary. I think this is very much priced as good as it could have been. I'd love it lower, right? Granted, but I would not be paying over MSRP on this. $200 would be the absolute max. And again, I definitely would. I'm glad I bought it. I did get the hookup, right? Like I got it on an accident. Somebody priced it wrong, but I would have paid the $200 gladly to have this bottle. But I don't think I would pick up multiple. If I run out, I'd much rather wait till the 2026 comes out, buy that year's, so on and so forth. But I am a big fan of Russell, so that does play a part. Fantastic pour, but definitely a hefty price tag. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you like this bottle? Have you had this bottle? Or are you saying $200? I'm never buying that. Why are we talking about this? Let's get back to talking budget stuff. Again, we got videos on those. You can watch them here and here. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.